Hello, hello, hello. I am Lady Renee Thomas James, and how are you doing? Needless to say, Happy New Year. I know it's late, and as you can see by the title, it has something to do with starting your year off a little bit late and when that was not in your plans. So if you think this video will resonate with you, stay tuned. So with that being said, I want to talk a little bit today about what do you do when you've planned and planned. It's time to execute, and then you meet up on a block, darling. Like, what do you do? And just to give you a little bit of backstory real quick, my 2020, as challenging as it was, it's I started planning for 2021, I would say pretty early enough. I started planning for 2021 about August, September, which is what I usually do since I've been in business with Take Me Away Essentials about 3-4 years now. So that was not abnormal. However, for some odd reason, 2021 hit, and a girl I paused for no reason under the sun. I'm like, what in the actual hell is this? And I said to myself, I just wanted to start executing my plans for 2021. I will go over in another video with how I plan for my 2021, but I had stuff written in my notebook, like, okay, this is what we're doing today, and it was just ready for execution. And I came upon a haul. Also, I think for the Christmas season in 2020, it did go well for Take Me Away Essentials. So I was super busy, and then I had to go off into just being there for my family. So when it came time now to go back into work mode, I think a lot of me was missing, meaning I didn't give myself time to just figure out or make sense of 2020 and the challenges that 2020 brought about. I just was in work mode or wife mode or mom mode, and very little of Renee mode. And if you don't know me, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My apologies. And if you're returning, thank you for coming. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button, darling. And for me, I do strongly believe in individuality. It means that, who is Renee Thomas, or who is Renee Thomas James as an individual. And I think I put that a little bit on the back burner in 2020. And I think I crashed at the beginning of 2021. So, expressing this on my social media, on Instagram stories. If you don't follow me, it's lady.renee Thomas James. I just express that I'm like, melancholy mood, like, what is this? The year started and I'm just like, what is this, darling? Like, what am I feeling? And I think for the most part, what happened to me was, you know what, Renee, 2020 happened. You may have been in autopilot mode, and this is the moment to just sit back and make sense of it all. I believe in feeling, dealing, healing, and moving forward. And I think for the most part, I felt 2020, I was dealing, and I stuck in dealing mode and didn't go after healing and moving forward. And I sat with myself in 2021 and I'm like, you know what, Lord, because I do believe in Jesus Christ. You know what, Lord, whatever it is that you would have me to do in this season, help me to understand what it is that you want from me and help me to execute that, because it's not always easy. I don't like to be in pause when it comes to work. I like to be in pause when it comes down to myself, but I believe in, you know what, pause for a moment and get back to work. And I think 2020 was all, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? Or how do we just get past, you know, Black Lives Matter happened, you know, oh, US politics happened. You know, and it's not, it didn't only affect the US. I'm living in Canada. It affects me in Canada. It affects the world. And we fail to understand that things like that, especially when you're dealing with it as a community, more specifically the Black community, it weighs heavily on you. In addition to the pandemic, in addition to, you know, people just losing their jobs, people, you know, coming home to work, having to virtual school these children. 2020 was a lot. It was a lot. And for the most part, I definitely, you know, worked on seeing, you know, what did 2020 teach me? And if nothing, resilience. And I'm a resilient, I'm a tough girl. I cried a lot up through 2020 and I pushed a lot. And sometimes when you're crying and pushing and crying and pushing yourself through, like, let's get this done, let's go through, you don't take that moment to fully feel what you're going through. And as I'm talking, you know, it's coming back, and I'm getting, you know, a little bit emotional, and that's okay. It's okay to get emotional. It's okay to, you know, try to make sense of nonsense. What the flip was that? Like, what? And January, I stopped for a moment. I stopped. It wasn't business. It wasn't my personal blog. It was nothing. It was just me. What do you want for yourself, Renee, from yourself? And I started implementing or expanding on my 2021 goals. And it felt good. Expanding in the areas of, you know, just, you know, intellectual, and also when you feel stuck, I believe when you feel stuck, start with a routine. I went back to a morning routine, which sometimes doesn't take off well. It takes off with bumps and ridges, and of course it did. And of course I started, and I also implemented or re-implemented a nighttime routine, which again still has bumps and ridges and still needs to be ironed out, and that's okay. Just start. Go back to solemn. What does solemn looks like for you? What does peace looks like for you? And for me, that is in a simple bedtime routine or a simple morning routine. Let me know if you want me to talk about that in a little bit, in another video, a little bit more. And that is where I found my sanctity, my peace, and resided there for a little bit. So my 2021 actually started 3 weeks into 2021, and that was okay. That was okay. With that being said, how did your 2021 start? If it started well, if you were like, girl, my 2021 started on December 31st of 2020, boo, do you? Don't be afraid. Gloat below. However, if your 2021 started a little bit later, again, don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid to say, you know, why your 2021 started late and how did you handle that. And if your 2021 started on time or it was early, don't be afraid to comment below. Why was it early for you and why do you think that was, right? Don't be afraid to express below. Zero judgment zone, darlings. Okay? Thank you for watching. I will have in my next video to come my 2021 goals and plans, especially for my YouTube channel. A girl is trying to do better with this channel this year because it is literally my only outlet. especially in this pandemic. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, feel free to subscribe to my channel, hit that bell for future notification, as well as feel free to follow me over on Lady Renee Thomas James, or Lady Dot Renee Thomas James. I think it's Lady Dot Renee Thomas James on Instagram. I'll have it below. Okay, thank you for watching, and have a beautiful rest of the day, darlings.